For any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check out g2a.com, and if you need any Ultimate Team coins, then head over to FIFA. The code CHES will get you a discount on both sites, and all links are down below. Hey guys, how's it going? Chez back again, and welcome to episode number 44 of the Career Mode Road to Glory here on FIFA 15. We start with a big game in the FA Cup. It's Cambridge United versus Barnsley. Obviously, they are second in the League One table behind us, so it's kind of first versus second in the league, whilst, of course, remaining in the FA Cup. Now, if we can get through this game and progress through to the next round, the money that we will earn from that could be vital in helping us to improve the squad for not only the rest of this season, but for the start of next season as well. We've been asking the board repeatedly over the past episode or two, please just give me some money. We're waiting, just waiting for them to go, yes, here's some extra funds, but so far they've been going, no, in our financial situation we can't afford to give you the amount of money that you're asking for. It would be easier if they just came back and said, look, we can't give you what you're asking for, but here's what we can give you, rather than me consistently having to ask again and again and again for different figures. But anyway, let's crack on, shall we? A good first chance for us there, with Tom Elliott drawing a good save out the goalkeeper. Kind of two-footed lunge save from the GK, so unfortunately for them, well, unfortunately for us rather, we weren't able to take a 1-0 lead. But Harrison Dunk whips the ball in here, Elliott with a header, and how many times have we seen those end up in the back of the net this season? Sadly though, this time it flashes over the top of the bar, and almost said Bradford. God, I got Bradford on the game thanks to Chelsea at the weekend. Barnsley here are actually going to dance in the box. Great feat from Bailey to get away from my defenders. It hits Coppola in the knees and the ball goes over the line. If you watched the Liverpool Career Mode episode earlier on this afternoon, you will have seen me rant and rave about goalkeepers being retarded again in this year's FIFA, and I'm not going to do it in this video, I promise, but that was retarded. So anyway, into the second half we went, and we're back on level terms immediately. Tom Elliott does score this header. He's been our main goal scorer this season. He and Kwesi Appiah again have been popping in the goals to keep us where we are in the league, although Kwesi's goals have kind of dried up in this second season, so I'm not too sure what his status in the squad will be in the third season, depending on who we bring in. It may be time to cash in on Kwesi in the third season, or at least give him at least in maybe this first 6 months of the championship season to see what he can do at that level. Because Tom Elliott seems to be scoring all of my goals right now. Kwesi occasionally will come up with one this season, but nowhere near the sort of ferocity of finish that he used to have in the League 2 season. But that may just be, he's in a bit of a dark spell, and he may just burst onto the scene with a huge purple patch in the next few games to completely prove me wrong. But he's on the attack here. Lovely finesse shot, but a good save by Ross Turnbull to tip it over. We were trying to put a bit of gloss on the final scoreline. It didn't need the gloss though in the end. 3 goals for us, 2 for Tom Elliott and 1 own goal for Davide Coppola, and we scraped through against Barnsley 2-1 in the FA Cup. So we're actually going to get 50 odd grand for that to go into our transfer budget, which I will show you a little bit later on. Of course, still asking the board for some extra funds, please, if you could possibly do so, to help me get through in the transfer window. But we actually don't have any transfer activity until after this second game. Notts County at home, again at home, fortunately, in not the FA Cup this time, in League One. Now we're of course top of the table, and Notts County is sat, I think, just outside the playoffs, so they're a good side, and we definitely know that they can cause us some problems. Playing a rotation team, because again, as has been the case for the entirety of this January month, it's a game every 3 or 4 days for almost the entire month, so we're definitely up against it when it comes to rotating the squad and keeping everybody fit, etc. And Notts County have got Roy Carroll in goal. That's a name that you'll definitely remember. And mentioning goalkeeping mistakes and howlers, Roy Carroll definitely had one of his own, so perhaps it is a little bit realistic for goalkeepers to mess up as much as they do on FIFA 15, but perhaps not necessarily in the way that they do it. But anyway, Notts County at home. We want 3 points if we possibly can to make sure we stay top of League One. Richard Tate bursting down the right hand side, great cross, and Adam Armstrong gives us the perfect start. 14 minutes in, it's Cambridge 1, Notts County 0. Couldn't have wished for a better way to get off the mark in this one. But just a few minutes later, as you can see, in the 20th minute now, Notts County play a really nice move here. Whitehouse shows great strength to hold off 2 defenders there. Spencer gets it into a teammate who returns it to Whitehouse again, and they find themselves back on level terms after about 5 minutes of being behind. So a very well worked move there by Notts County, and fair play to them for doing so. But again, just after kick-off, as you can see, 2 minutes after they scored, we're on the attack again. Luke Chadwick this time bursting into the box, going to turn inside, defender nowhere near the ball there, committed to the challenge, and Luke Chadwick moved it away. A definite penalty, and this defender's name, actually I thought it was like a region because his name is Sreten Sretenovic, but actually he is a genuine human being, a real person and a real Serbian defender that plays in the Korean League, I believe. I did have a look at his card on Foothead and I can't quite remember where he was. I will quickly bring it up on my laptop next to me so I can tell you he is the Korean League. He's at Gyeongnam FC in the K-League. Sreten Sretenovic, 38 pace on him, which is probably why he couldn't cope with the turn of pace there from Luke Chadwick. So he scored the pen and then they went up the other end and scored again. So between the 13th and 28th minute, there were 4 goals, 2 apiece, as we headed in towards the second half, which is still not done for the first. Trying to get ourselves in front again, if we can, with this ridiculous first half for goal scoring. Armstrong looking for his hat-trick, tries the extravagant overhead kick after scoring the penalty earlier on, and unfortunately this time can't quite do it. So we are now into the second half, on the attack again ourselves. Adam Armstrong clean through, one-on-one, another chance. Can he get himself a hat-trick? No, the defender comes back, blistering pace from the centre-back, but Alan San-Maximin wins it back off the defender in the midfield. Lovely finesse shot, good save by Roy Carroll, but there's Robbie Simpson. We're in front again. Surely no, as you can see, the linesman flag is up. Robbie Simpson's infuriated, but you'll see from the replay he was just marginally offside when the young French winger had the shot just there. He just strayed beyond that far defender there, the left back, and unfortunately was the wrong side of the defensive line. They made a change 10 minutes from time, and at this throw, as you can see, I'll try to throw it to the man that's just to the left of me there, Greg Taylor. For some reason, the guy decided to throw it completely out in front of him, threw it straight to a Notts County player who scored. That was not really what was intended with that throw-in, and that wasn't really what was intended with the final result either. That is a 3-2 scoreline to Notts County, and that is our first defeat in League One all season. Devastated, especially to do it in the manner that we did, trying to throw it to a teammate and he just threw it straight out in front of him rather than throwing it to the man that was just slightly to the left. It's infuriating, isn't it? The past 2 videos, today's Liverpool Career Mode and the CMRTD have just been filled with gameplay bugs that have actually cost us dear. But never mind, here's the squad report though. If, of course, as always with the squad report, if there's anyone you want to see in any particular detail, do feel free to pause the video and have a closer look. Kwesi Appiah is still growing. I am really torn with Kwesi right now. He hasn't been scoring the goals for us this year, but he is still obviously an extreme threat going forward with that pace and a decent finish. You just need to get him back in a purple patch of actually putting the ball in the back of the net. Fortunately, Robbie Simpson, Adam Armstrong and Tom Elliott have kept up the pace and been scoring the goals to to make up the fact that Kwesi hasn't actually been as in good a form as he was last year for us. But a lot of players are growing quite nicely. Still looking to replace Luke Chadwick and Greg Nelson. Michael Nelson, if we possibly can, because of course they're both retiring at the end of this particular season. But the next game in tomorrow's episode, or no, it'll be Wednesday, won't it? Because this is going up on Monday. The next game in Wednesday's episode is actually the first leg of a double-legged Johnson's Paint Trophy area final. So it's the Southern area final, and then we'll play, if we get through that, in the national final at Wembley later on in the season. But unfortunately, we are now level on points with Barnsley. We do have the superior goal difference though, but 15 wins, 13 draws and 1 defeat now for both ourselves and Barnsley, both of us on fantastic form this season. But we can't let that 1 defeat get us down. We have to bounce back and come back with some big victories to ensure that we stay top of the table. There are 17 games to go in League One. We're looking like we're going to get back-to-back promotions. Fingers crossed that will be what happens at the end of this season, but there's still a long way to go and we want to improve in this window if we possibly can. So hopefully the board in the next episode will actually give us the money we're asking for and that we'll be able to bring in a couple of players. But that's the plan at least. But for now, thank you very much for watching and I will see you next time.